Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, I want to talk about tactical elements in practical play. Unlike when we are solving a puzzle, tactics in the game are slightly more hidden, and one has to develop a feel and awareness to spot them at the right moment. So, the position on the board, I'm black against the Greek GM Halkias, and he's just taken my pawn on d5. I'm a pawn down, but a lot of other things are working for me right now. Mainly the offside queen and bishop, and just that the queen side has been abandoned by the white pieces, and I have pretty good control over that. And now actually the combination starts, and the tactical combination sequence starts with knight g5, queen g5, bishop c2. So tactics is nothing but the geometry of the board and the lines, diagonals, and of course the forks. So it's amazing how so many patterns and so many combinations can occur in a simple 64 squares. So the game bishop c2, I'm posing a question for white simply because rook c1 allows bishop b2, and knight c4 I have queen f6, I believe, and queen f6, bishop f6. The rook is anyway going to be not going to survive this, so he cannot play this, and so he went rook e1, which is a normal move. So now I have few options actually. Bishop into b2 is not what I want because of knight c4, another fork, which allows him to escape more or less. This is not what I want at all, especially giving up that bishop for that knight. And of course I don't want to take with the queen simply because of rook c1. I think there is more in this position, and I don't want to take with the queen and allows rook to survive this. So I played a strong intermezzo here. I played queen b4. So once the knight moves, I'm going to take on b2. Knight b3 or knight f1, I take on b2, and the rook has no squares. Basically, I've just eliminated the possibility of knight c4. So my opponent plays e4, basically protecting the knight, and he wants to keep it there. And bishop into b2, a3. This is of course his idea, freeing this square for the rook, but it's a terrible rook. It's a terrible rook anyway, so I'm not bothered. So bishop into a3 is not what I want, simply because it allows this rook to live. It increases its mobility, and so it's not what it's more about trapping and winning that rook rather than winning a pawn or winning a pawn back. So a3, my opponent I went queen c3, sorry. So queen c3, rook a2. So now is the moment of truth where everything is the combination reaches its climax, and strong tactical shot is present in this position. Pause the video if you want to find it, but I played bishop into e4 here. Steinitz discovered that when you have a very big advantage, a combination presents itself. It's not you're planning for it, it's not you're preparing it, but combination is born just out of developing a good strategical advantage, and that is what has happened here, because basically the rook is bad and a lot of pieces are not cooperating with each other. White has terrible coordination here, and that is what that could be the reason that the combination exists here. So bishop into e4. What is the logic? It's a combination based on pins, because this is the first pin. This is the first pin in the position. Knight into e4 allows queen e1 mate, and of course the more important pin, rook into e4, queen c1 check, and I'm using the back rank and the pin to win this queen. So these two pins allow me to execute this idea. You can see that the tactical blow violates all logic of strategy, as this point is overprotected by 3 pieces, and still white is not able to save it. And tactic often violates logic of strategy, and yeah, that kind of makes the game more complicated. You cannot just win with plans, but you have to be alert also. So bishop e4, bishop e4. Now there is no survival. Rook e4, and everything has to be in a perfect spot. Actually, the queen has to be in a perfect spot. All these three pawns have to be on the back rank. So you cannot simply plan these things, I believe. It's just happening. Bishop e4, rook e4. All you can do is be alert for them. Rook f1, rook e2. And now, I mean, with the rook on a2, a pawn down, I don't, lack of coordination. White is not going to survive this. And I won pretty easily. f6, queen f4. He's just making some hand moves. He cannot do anything. Yeah, now I win this rook. He plays d6 in order to avoid any calculation or complication. Just took rook b2, queen d6 is losing to another tactic, and it's made next move. As I said, Steinitz believed, and when you have a better position, tactics keep flowing, combinations keep. He said combinations keep flowing, and that is kind of true here. And my opponent played rook d1, but resigned after queen d3. And so it's not easy to see the bishop into e4 idea right when you start taking on g5, but you feel that there is something there, and once you get to the position, or even slightly before that, once I played bishop into b2, I could say, and a3, queen c3, rook a2, I could see that there was this beautiful shot on e4. Thank you for watching.